Some advocate for returning ecosystems to a pre-1600 state, envisioning a time when nature was untouched by modern human activity. This idea, while well-intentioned, is impractical and ignores centuries of change and development that have shaped our current world. The environment of the 1600s no longer exists, having been transformed by human activity and natural processes. Climate change, habitat loss, and introduced species have dramatically altered our landscapes, creating new ecological realities. Focusing solely on pre-1600s ecosystems limits our understanding of current ecological interactions and the dynamic nature of our environment. Many species, both native and non-native, have adapted and now rely on each other for survival and ecological balance. Eradicating non-native species entirely could have unintended consequences for the entire ecosystem, disrupting established relationships. Instead of clinging to an idealized past, we need to focus on building resilience for the future, adapting to the changes that have already occurred. This means embracing a more nuanced view of native and non-native species, understanding their roles in our current ecosystems. It means recognizing the valuable role non-natives can play in supporting biodiversity and contributing to ecological health. We must move beyond simplistic solutions and embrace the complexity of our ecosystems, acknowledging the intricate web of life that exists today. Only then can we create a sustainable future for all species, ensuring the health and balance of our natural world. Pollinators are essential for a healthy planet. Bees, in particular, play a crucial role in fertilizing plants, ensuring food production and supporting biodiversity. While native bees are important, it's crucial to recognize the contributions of non-native bees as well. Honeybees, for example, are not native to North America but are vital for agriculture. They pollinate a wide variety of crops and contribute significantly to our food supply. Other non-native bee species have also become naturalized and contribute to pollination in both natural and agricultural settings. Pollinator diversity, including both native and non-native species, ensures resilience in the face of environmental change. Different bee species have different foraging preferences and tolerances to environmental factors. By valuing and protecting all pollinators, we support a healthy and productive ecosystem. The introduction of non-native species can lead to competition for resources with native species. This competition can sometimes be intense, affecting the availability of food and nesting sites for native bees. However, it's important to note that competition is a natural part of any ecosystem. It drives evolution and adaptation, helping species to become more specialized and efficient in their roles. Native species also compete with each other for resources such as food, nesting sites, and mates. This intra-species competition is a fundamental aspect of ecological balance. Furthermore, non-native bees can sometimes have positive interactions with native pollinators. These interactions can lead to mutual benefits, enhancing the overall health of the ecosystem. They can increase the overall pollination of native plants by attracting more pollinators to an area. This can be particularly beneficial in areas where native pollinator populations are declining. This is particularly important for plants that rely on a variety of pollinators for successful reproduction. A diverse pollinator community can ensure that plants receive the necessary pollination services. Research has shown that in some cases, the presence of non-native bees can even benefit native bee populations. These benefits can include increased pollination efficiency and greater genetic diversity. For example, competition from non-native bees can lead to niche partitioning, where native bees specialize on different flower resources or foraging times. This specialization can reduce direct competition and allow coexistence. It's essential to avoid generalizations about competition between native and non-native species. Each ecosystem is unique, and the interactions between species can vary widely. Each case is unique and requires careful study to understand the specific interactions and potential impacts. Only through detailed research can we fully grasp the complexities of these ecological relationships. Bees contribute far more to our environment than just honey production. They are keystone species, meaning their presence and activity have a disproportionately large impact on the ecosystem. Bees are essential for maintaining plant diversity. By pollinating flowers, they ensure the reproduction of a wide range of plant species, which in turn supports a variety of other organisms. This includes insects, birds, and mammals that rely on these plants for food and shelter. Bees also play a role in seed dispersal. Some bee species collect and transport seeds, helping plants colonize new areas and maintain genetic diversity. This is especially important in fragmented landscapes where natural seed dispersal may be limited. Protecting bees, both native and non-native, is crucial for maintaining the health and biodiversity of our ecosystems. Section 5. Non-natives, friends or foes, the case for coexistence. The debate over native and non-native species often overlooks the reality of ecological adaptation. While some argue that non-native species are harmful, others point out their potential benefits. Over time, some non-native species become naturalized. This means they adapt to the new environment and coexist with native species. They integrate into the ecosystem without causing significant harm, and may even provide benefits. These benefits can range from providing food resources to enhancing biodiversity. For example, certain non-native plants provide nectar and pollen resources for both native and non-native bees. This can be crucial for the survival of various pollinator species. They may flower at different times than native plants, filling in gaps in food availability for pollinators. This staggered blooming can ensure a continuous food supply throughout the year. Non-native species can also contribute to habitat restoration. They can play a role in rebuilding ecosystems that have been damaged or degraded. In degraded areas, non-natives may be the first to colonize and stabilize the soil, paving the way for the eventual return of native species. This initial stabilization is crucial for long-term ecological recovery. It's important to note that not all non-native species are benign. Some can become invasive and cause significant problems. Invasive species can outcompete natives, disrupt ecosystems, and cause significant ecological and economic harm. They can alter habitats and reduce biodiversity. However, it's crucial to distinguish between invasive species and non-natives that have become integrated members of the ecosystem. Understanding this distinction can help in making informed conservation decisions. Section 6. Biodiversity for a brighter future. Biodiversity is essential for a healthy and resilient planet. It provides us with clean air and water, food security, climate regulation, and countless other benefits. Embracing biodiversity means recognizing the value of all species, both native and non-native, that contribute to ecosystem function. Focusing solely on pre-1600s ecosystems limits our ability to address current environmental challenges. Climate change, habitat loss, and other anthropogenic factors have created novel ecosystems that require innovative solutions. Instead of clinging to an idealized past, we need to focus on building resilient ecosystems for the future. This means embracing a more inclusive view of biodiversity that recognizes the potential contributions of both native and non-native species. By valuing and protecting all species that contribute to ecosystem health, we can create a more sustainable future for all. Section 7. Real-world success non-native plants supporting native species. There are numerous examples of non-native plants providing valuable resources for native species. For instance, the butterfly bush, while non-native to North America, is a significant nectar source for butterflies, including several native species. Similarly, the autumn olive, often considered invasive, provides fruit for birds during late fall and winter when other food sources are scarce. This can be crucial for the survival of overwintering birds and migrating species. Even in urban environments, non-native trees can play an important role in supporting wildlife. The London plane tree, a hybrid of Asian and American sycamore species, is widely planted in cities worldwide and provides nesting sites and food for birds and insects. These examples demonstrate that non-native plants can contribute positively to biodiversity by providing food and habitat for native species. Section 8. Embracing a holistic approach. Beyond the native versus non-native debate. The native versus non-native debate often distracts from the larger issue: habitat loss and degradation. The single greatest threat to biodiversity is the destruction and fragmentation of natural habitats due to human activities. Whether a plant is native or non-native is less important than its ability to contribute to ecosystem function. Instead of focusing solely on a plant's origin, we need to assess its overall impact on the environment. A holistic approach to conservation considers the entire ecosystem, including the interactions between native and non-native species. This approach recognizes that ecosystems are dynamic and constantly changing. Section 9, a shared responsibility, protecting our planet's future. Protecting biodiversity is not just the responsibility of scientists and conservationists, it's a shared responsibility for all of us. We can all make a difference in our own backyards and communities. Planting a diversity of flowering plants, both native and non-native, can provide valuable resources for pollinators, reducing pesticide use, providing water sources, and creating nesting habitats can further support pollinator populations. Educating ourselves and others about the importance of biodiversity and the role of all species, regardless of their origin, is crucial for fostering a more sustainable future. By embracing a more inclusive and nuanced view of nature, we can work together to create a world where both native and non-native species thrive. The future of our planet depends on our willingness to see beyond simplistic categories and embrace the interconnectedness of all living things.